Hello, friends. Brian King here. One of the many things that I did today was I made a surprise visit to the school a friend of mine started about 3 years ago. She's an amazing person, and she created a school in response to the fact that the public school system in her area was neglecting the needs of her child with ADHD. So her being an amazingly proactive person said, you know what, if these guys can't get it right, I'm going to start my own school. And she did. And it's going on its third year now. And a lot of the people that are enrolled are kids with special needs with ADHD, some forms of Asperger's, and so on. Well, in any case, I decided to pop in today, and she wasn't there right away. She was off-site doing something else. So I just hung out in the office and was talking to people. And there was a mom there. And, she started asking me questions about myself, and I explained there were a lot of people there that didn't know me. And I explained how I was connected to the owner. And that pretty much made me, one of the family. We got our master's degree together. I was on the first board of directors to get the school off the ground before my MS made it hard for me to keep making the meetings and so on. So they, trusted me. I seemed like a simple enough guy. So this mother that was sitting there, she started asking me, about, my tattoos, and because she had a tattoo and her tattoo was her kids' names. And so we started talking about her kids. We started talking about my kids, and our kids had similar diagnoses, ADHD and so forth. So we were sharing problems with each other. Well, this is some of the difficulties I had with my kid. These are some of the difficulties I had with her kid and so on. And I began sharing strategies that were particularly helpful in raising my kids. And she told me things about her child that she was having difficulty with. And I began offering suggestions of things she could do. And she really seemed to be taking it in. And we were talking for probably a good half hour. And the secretary there says, well, I hate to eavesdrop and I hate to interrupt. And she looks at the mother and said, it's like he was sent here for you. And I'm looking at, what are you talking about? And they both shared that one of the reasons she was there is she had had a very difficult time with her child that morning and was struggling with how to handle his behavior and certain things that had been going on with him. And here I was giving her exactly the strategies that she was looking for, that she felt helpless around. Behaviors she had no explanation for, and solutions she had no idea how to even ask for because she didn't know what the problem was. And here I was telling her exactly why her child was behaving the way that they were and making recommendations for exactly what she could do to change the behavior. So, people there were kind of at a loss, and yet just by talking about our lives, all we were doing was shooting the breeze about our kids. That's it. And I was just making suggestions based upon my experience, not only as a parent of kids with similar diagnoses, but as a professional in this space. And she walked out of there much calmer, much more relaxed, and more prepared to deal with her child when these issues reoccurred, simply because I showed up and shared a little bit of my life with her. So never think or never assume that the lessons of your life are nothing special. The problems that you've managed to solve in the course of just living your life can turn out to be of tremendous value to somebody else who is having similar struggles but hasn't reached that point of epiphany or wisdom yet. And you come along, and because of what you've learned, you now help them through a very difficult time. So just wanted to share that story with you for whatever it's worth, because it can be really worth it to just sit down with people and just listen to them, talk about what it's like to be them, live the lives they have, share that little human experience of that shared struggle that we all have. In this case, parenting. Because I don't care who the heck you are. I don't care, the professional or expert you think you are. You don't have all the answers. I go to people all the time when I bump up to stuff against stuff with my own kids that I haven't seen before. And I asked my colleagues who've been there and done that, hey, do you have any recommendations? I'm still learning. And I hope you are too. I have no desire to be right. I have no desire to be the perfect parent. You know what my desire is? To be effective. I want to be competent. I want to prepare my kids for the world correctly. My ego isn't so valuable to me that I want to send my kids out there helpless and reckless simply to protect my desire to be the all-knowing dad. And I hope to heck you're not doing that either as a mom or a dad. Asking for help is one of the most fundamental things that you can do in order to equip yourself to raise kids to be the best people they can be. Because if we had all the answers as parents, kids would not be entering the world the mess that many of them have become. So I'm going to leave it at that. I've got a son that needs to go to his job, a son with autism and Asperger's who at some point, when he was younger, we weren't sure what the future held for him. Now he's outgoing, polite, doing a lot of customer service stuff, enjoying his job, enjoying his life, and I couldn't be more proud. And I didn't do any of it in a vacuum. I did it with help. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If there's anybody else that you think can benefit from this, please share it. And until we talk again, this has been Brian. Thanks for being you.